Good evening, friends, Romans, and countrymen. Welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Here we are, gathered here as friends, neighbors, countrymen. Thought to be entertained or going to entertain you on this Friday Eve. And then on Friday, when you get to work, there will be people gathering in little circles, talking around the water cooler. They'll be talking by the microwave. They'll be talking by the coffee maker. They'll even talk around the day-old donuts. And you know, there's going to be one topic that's on everyone's mind. All the people will be frolicking and enjoying themselves. And then they'll say, did you see the Thursday night Throwdown? Yeah. So as we always do, we welcome you to the Thursday Night Throwdown. Tonight we've got a big, heavy, extensive NBA show. Talking about the All-Star game. Maybe doing some picks of the finals. Giving some love to a team that's, even though they're taking some L's, they changed their brand of basketball. We'll let you know who that team is as we get going with the show. But I am joined by two fine, distinguished gentlemen. The one guy is the gentleman Jack Carr. That might be a loose term calling him a gentleman, but it's all good. And then the other guy is the big guy, KG. He's your host for the night. He's going to take it from here. KG, carry on.
You know, I love how the Thursday Night Throwdown is done an intro. It is beautiful. Thank you, Midnight Rider, for that. Gentleman Jack, thank you for being here. Everybody that's watching, thank you for being here. First and foremost, let's start this off right. How y'all feeling tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Looks like Jack's good too.
I am doing nice.
Need
a hat on this nugget. Need a hat.
Got a hat. All right.
Yeah, my shit a little nappy today. A little nappy.
Oh my God.
You know, it ain't tight. It ain't tightened up. You know.
Oh man.
Let's jump off in this thing. NBA All-Star Weekend is upon us. Festivities start tomorrow night. I believe they're in San Francisco for the weekend, the Bay Area. I'm not going to genuflect. I promised the gentleman that I wouldn't genuflect on what All-Star Weekend used to mean. But it's still a great time. This is when everybody gets a break. You fly into town, hotels are booked. You have fun.
Well, technically, you wouldn't be genuflecting. You'd be waxing poetically. Just
waxing poetically.
Yeah, just for those at home.
I like that better. Waxing poetically of past All-Star game, All-Star weekends. But in true Sideline Junkie fashion, big guy KG fashion, quickly, favorite All-Star game in the NBA of all time. Go.
Oh, it's easy. It's the one Magic came back in.
That's what I was seriously thinking, Midnight Rider. Well, how did that happen? Yes.
92 in Orlando.
Every now and then you can be right, Jack.
Yeah, no.
For me, it was 96, Alamo Dome.
As soon as he said it, I pictured Magic shooting that deep three and hanging the hand, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, MVP Magic. And, you know, I'm a Celtics fan, but I respect good Lakers.
Not a problem. Nothing wrong with that. For me, it's 96. Alamo Dome. MJ came back. He debuted the all-white Jordans because, you know, I'm at the age where I remember there was only 3 colorways. You had the black and white at the beginning of the season, all white for All-Star, and black and red for the second half of the season because Bulls always wore black shoes after the All-Star break. But moving on. This year, we have the Skills Challenge presented by Kia. You have Team Cavs, which is Spider Mitchell and Evan Mobley versus Team Rooks, which is Zachariah Richase. Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but he's nice.
And Alex Sarr. Team Spurs, which is CP3, Chris Paul, and Victor Wembanyama. And then you rounding out, of course, you got to go with the homers. Team Warriors, Draymond Green and Moses Moody. Gentlemen, we're going to do this. We're going to infuse a little WrestleManiacs in this. No belt on the line, but just, I want to hear you talk about this if you got something to say about it, but I want you to give me your pick on who you think will win this.
Well, I know it's not Golden State because Draymond and Moody just doesn't sound like a good team. I don't think it's the Rooks.
SA.
I think it's look at Jack, man. I don't know what's wrong with him today. He might need to go check his coffee or something. Maybe somebody put some vodka in it or something.
CP3 got it, baby.
We didn't step line with that one, man. I think Wembanyama is one of the most skilled bigs, and CP3 loves this competition. If they're doing the dribbling, the passing, I gotta give it to the San Antonio team. Definitely.
Same. I just think Chris Paul, man, he's kind of like, I'd say from what I see, his demeanor, competitive demeanor is similar to our guest from in the passenger seat last night, win at all costs, as Lou Rome said. So I think CP3 just got the mindset, and Wemby is talented enough that him and CP3 should win this thing. I do think that. Yep. What do you think, KG?
I agree with you, gentlemen. It's like we're all on the same page tonight, and that's very rare because we always have different opinions, and that starts a big discussion. But I think Team Spurs takes this. I have to say this. When Wemby was drafted, right before he was drafted, I was like, this cat's game's not going to translate to the NBA game. He's not going to be what you think he's going to be. And you might as well go ahead and break out the mumbo sauce to put on my crow, because I'm about ready to eat crow. Because he's translated very, very well to the NBA, even with his size. And I think he's one of your young stars. He's one of the ones that's going to carry the mantle once the king retires to put the league on his back. But I got to go with the Team Spurs to win this because, I mean, you look at this. Point guard, CP3, skills challenge. You got a point guard. He may not be better than Rod Strickland, but he's still a point guard.
God dang it, boy.
He leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds better than Rod Strickland, bro.
No, I do that because I love the Midnight Riders reaction.
I know you do.
But I don't know about leaps and bounds better than Rod Strickland, but he ain't better than John Stockton. But I digress. It's another one.
All I got to say is every time we talk about point guards, you got to pull Rod Strickland out your ass. That's all I got to say.
Wemby,
it would be right if I did.
I thought similar to what you thought, KG, but not as heavy about Wemby when he came out. I don't need to eat no crows or nothing, but I had doubts. And I tell you what, in another 3-4 years, I think Wemby can be a dominant force in this league. I mean,
I think you're putting that window a little too far out.
Put some meat on that boy in about 4 years. When he's a man, he's still a boy.
I think you give him next year is going to be the year he explodes because you got De'Aaron Fox that helps take some of the pressure off of him from a scoring standpoint. You got the kid Devin Castle who's going to come into his own next year. They're going to be dangerous in the next 2 to 3 years, like you're saying. But I think if you watched him the other night against the Wizards, he had a stretch where I think he had an 11-0 stretch.
Yes,
and he had like 3 threes and a 2, and like he showed you all the skills. It was like Burger King; you could have it your way. Yeah. Wait, hold on. You can't be finishing my sentences today, too. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on.
But no, I agree. But I think it's going to take a little longer. But he's going to be a monster in this league, man. It's just them tall guys, man. They have a tough time with longevity. So I hope he can get 10, 12 years. I mean, it's just, them knees and stuff and them feet, like Ralph Sampson knee problems.
Ralph Sampson with the knees, Yao Ming with the feet. You're absolutely right.
Olajuwon had feet problems. No, it happens to the big men, but Wemby, young, right now, his numbers are stupid. I mean, he's getting 4 blocks a game. He had like 9 the other day. I mean, that's just like get out of here type shit. I love seeing a big man that can defend the rim, defend the basket.
Well, I think it's even more appropriate that guys like Risa Shea, Wemby, we're talking about these guys, and they're not back to the basket guys. And I know KG probably wants to give these flowers out later, and I'm being a little presumptuous, but this week when Kevin Durant, when it goes over 30,000 points, I think these guys are the reflection of what he is. Like everybody has somebody they influence. And I think KD being 7 feet tall and being able to face up and score the rock. I think I forgot what show I was watching yesterday. I think it was Udonis Haslem on NBA Today. He called him the pioneer of positionless basketball, and I think that's exactly what he is. He made it easy for 7-footers to be able to face up and take it to the rim. Where any other time we would have put a 7-footer with their back to the basket and made them earn it in the paint. But KD changed that, and they changed that whole dynamic. And I think that's what we see these young European kids doing is they're being KD now.
Well, they can be KG too. Don't let them. Don't stop them, man. Let them
the only the KG I'd be talking about was Kevin Garnett.
Get the tape out.
There you go.
Hey, Midnight Rider, let me back it up a little bit to you because I don't know the answer to this. What I was thinking, you mentioned the boy from Sacramento coming over here to was Fox?
Darren Fox. Yeah, Darren Fox.
What kind of schedule? What kind of contract was he carrying? Is he free agent after the season, or they got him for a little while?
No, so he's a 1 year, but more than likely he'll resign there. He'd be stupid
so?
not to.
There's a lot of people that are gonna throw money at him, I think. But
I think so too. But you get the next dominant player to play beside for the next couple years. You're in championship games. You know what I'm saying? We back to that topic of every day you wake up, you talking about playing for championships. You're not talking about making it to the playoffs. You're not daydreaming about being an 8 seed. You daydreaming about being a 1, 2, or 3.
Playoffs. Had to say it.
Let me say this. Talking about big men and positionless basketball. What was said about Kevin Durant being the pioneer of positionless basketball, I agree. Now, do I really care for positionless basketball? To a certain extent, no, but it's because some guys try to be in that vein of Kevin Durant, Wembanyama, because Wembanyama he's a 3-level scorer if he wants to be. Jokic, 3-level scorer. Bo, 3-level scorer. Some guys come out. Yeah, some guys come out and they don't have that 3-level scoring ability. So what they do is they try to do too much. If that makes sense. They try to come out and they try to be a splash brother. They have no mid-range. You barely got game down on the block. Everybody can't be positionless. Sometimes you gotta fit in get in where you fit in. And if you fit in with back to the basket, make a career out of it. But as you're making that career, make that transition where you're working on the mid-range. So you have a mid-range jumper like a Hakeem Olajuwon, like a Patrick Ewing. You kind of take old school and bridge it with the new school so you can have a long career. Just my thoughts. Don't just come out there trying to shoot threes because you're 7 feet tall and they let you.
I'm a little surprised you didn't give or pay homage to Don Nelson and guys like Doug Moe that preached up-tempo basketball, or even Bob Huggins. That team
ran away.
Yeah, that Bob Huggins team in Cincinnati, I guess that would be 92, 93 with Van Exel, Fortson and those guys. I mean, they switched everything. The only person that couldn't switch was Fortson. They were kind of one of those teams where I felt like if you could go and string you a team of 6'5s and 6'6s along, and maybe have a big here or there, you'd be trouble for everybody in the league or in the country. And I think we're starting to see some of that with this the Oklahoma team. Oklahoma, I don't even know who their shortest player is. I think the shortest guy is like 6'4". They're 6'4" and up, and then they got a bunch of guys 6'7" to 6'9", all the same. And I kind of see that as the blueprint. And we'll talk about the team later on. But I think that's following that blueprint when it comes to liking certain players. Oh yes, indeed.
Jack Wagner says Spurs have a talented young roster. They're going to be good for a while, and all will learn how to win together. And then you got one of the greatest coaches of all time, and Pop on the sidelines. I hope his health holds up so he can stay on those sidelines or at least in the organization. Earl Lawrence checking on what's happening. Earl,
what's up, Earl?
What's happening, Jack?
Hey, hold on, excuse me. That's what you said for next week.
Nah, we got
okay.
Brian next week.
Okay.
Perry coming through with Paul
What's up, Mo?
Okay.
Paul Westhead and the system. That's all you need to know. Paul Westhead ran the system in LA. He won a championship his first season as head coach of LA running the system. He went to Loyola, and then if certain things didn't happen, March 4th, 1990, and this March 4th will be 35 years. If that did not happen, I think they would have ran everybody off the floor in 90 because they were the highest scoring team 2 years in a row at Loyola. He even brung the system to the WNBA. Help me out, Perry, if you're still there. Was it Phoenix he was running? The Mercury? I can't remember what team he was running, but I think they won a championship with him running the system. I'll find it. And you talk about Nelly and up-tempo basketball. Nelly is the pioneer of having the point forward with Paul Pressey. And
I mean, if we can just switch the subject off of Paul Westhead, I'd much appreciate that. I have 3 years of anguish and PTSD from George Mason of watching the system or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay, brother. Okay. It was the Phoenix Mercury. I think he won a WNBA championship with the Phoenix Mercury running the system. Perry said he ran gathers into the ground. This is something that I've done so much extensive research on for years, and I could sit down and we could have a long conversation about that. I don't want to get too deep into it right now because we'll be here for like 6 hours, but I gotta disagree with you on that, Perry.
Coming to you on a show sometime in May.
Next up is we got the dunk contest. Not really the piece of resistance of the night anymore. Matt McClung defends his title, two-time defending champion, against Matthias Buzelis.
Okay, that's the Chicago kid.
Yeah, Stephon Castle and Andre Jackson Jr. You got to pick.
4?
Yeah, it's just 4. They don't have. It's never a big field anymore when it comes to dunk contests. It's not. You used to have 3-4 rounds where you had guys going at it, but no, not no more.
Damn. Well, I got my answer.
What you got, Jack?
Mac McClung gonna get a 3-peat.
All right, Midnight Rider.
I'm sorry. It's Black History Month. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna go with Castle. I think Castle's got a bag. And speaking of dunk contest, I don't know if you guys saw it, but you want to go back. I think it was Tuesday night. The Cleveland Cavaliers had a dunk contest for their halftime show. They had, I don't know if they were 2 YouTube dunkers. They put on a show. They had A couple of them were definitely 10s. And I think y'all should just check it out. I know they played it on NBA Today. I watched a lot of NBA Today because what's the young lady from Stanford? Cheeky Zun, whatever her name is. I think she's got the twin. She had on a green dress, boy. Woo. Oh, Jesus. What coach say? It was two wild mongooses fighting for respectability.
But I'm gonna go with JC, and I'm gonna go ahead. And McClung wins this.
Yeah, I think he's very creative, man.
Next up, we got the 3-point. Oh, the slam dunk contest is sponsored by AT&T, which is kind of crazy. AT&T sponsors the slam dunk contest, and I say that because Starry's sponsoring the Starry is sponsoring the 3-point contest. Now I remember AT&T used to sponsor the 3-point contest. The skills challenge is sponsored by Kia.
Yeah,
because it's the long distance shootout.
Yeah.
And just so y'all know, it's in the chat. It's in the what's that?
What
he was talking about? Lord have mercy.
Okay. Lord have mercy.
3-point shootout is Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cameron Johnson, Dame Lillard, and Norman Powell. Before I give it to you guys, let me ask you gentlemen a question. Now I'm looking, what is that? That's 8 guys, correct? In this 3-point shootout, that's 8 guys. Now I'm looking at the 3-point percentage for the league. Luke Kennard from Memphis is leading the league in 3-point percentage at 47.8. Torian Prince is 2. Domantas Sabonis is 3. Keon Ellis is 4. The Joker's 5. KAT is 6. Rui Hachimura is 7, and Grayson Allen is 8. Shouldn't that be your 8 competitors right there? Your top 3-point shooters.
But they just don't get in, just like the top dunkers don't get in.
Well, I disagree from the standpoint of, when I think of Kevin Huerter, I think of a catch and shoot guy. So I don't know if that's going to be his skill set will match what he does. Same thing with a couple other guys in that list. So I don't see the way the contest is set up benefiting them. So that's why I wouldn't just take the top 8 guys. I think these guys right here are guys that do a lot of pull-ups and things of that nature. But that being said, when you get to me, you might have to read them 8 names again. Because
I wrote mine down, dude.
I was like, because at first I was like, who? I didn't want to do the Stone Cold, be like, what? But
I got two that I think going to get down, and another one possible. But y'all ready for me?
Yeah.
Well, let me put it. Hold on. Let me say this real quick, Jack. If you talk about volume shooters, Steph Curry, and this is 3-point attempts per game. Steph Curry's at 11. He leads the league in most 3-point attempts in the game. Jason Tatum's behind him at 10. Anthony Edwards, Tyler Hero, Tyrese Maxey, Jordan Poole, Malik Beasley, Donovan Mitchell, Dame Lillard. That's your top 9. So if we want to do volume, those are your top 9. And
Buddy's not on there.
Hero's the one that's in there. Huh?
Buddy Hield is not on that list.
Nah, he's not on the percentage list, or as far as most, he's down. He's got to be down a little bit more.
Well, you look at the
stats.
You look at the stats for like most 3-pointers attempted in the past 5-6 years. I thought right off the jump, Steph. It's Buddy Hield. He's got the most attempts. I can't remember 5 years, 6 years, but it was a long period of time. So I would have figured he'd been on that list. I like Buddy's stroke. He's definitely a shooter. You said something about Dame. I mean, hey, you can't mess around with Dame time, y'all. You never know when that thing's going to heat up and stay on fire. And I like Jalen Brunson, too. I picked him last year to win it. I'm going to go with Buddy Hield. Is going to be my choice in the 3-point contest. Midnight Rider, I believe you was going to need the list again.
Yes, sir.
KG, hook them up.
We might have lost KG for a second.
I don't have the list. All I heard was Brunson, Lillard, and Hield. That's all I heard.
No, you cool. I'll try to pull it up real quick. But one thing you were talking about was Buddy Hield, and I know he's been struggling in. I mean, it's odd to say it that he struggled in Golden State, but he's been struggling in Golden State. I don't know if it's like something personal going on, but he's gone some nights and hasn't shot the ball a lot. I think people don't understand that when you play with Steph, there's an adjustment to how you get your shots.
Yeah, right. I found the list for you, Midnight Rider, so you can stop searching.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. What you got?
The list was Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham. I didn't hear that the first time he went around.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, who has a nice stroke too, Buddy Hield, Cam Johnson from the Nets, Damon Lillard, and Norman Powell from the Clippers.
I'm gonna try to, if I remember correctly, Cam Johnson was at the Tar Heel, so I'm gonna go Homer and go with Cam Johnson.
You writing this down, KG?
Yes, sir. I'm taking this. I'm taking this down.
Yeah,
right down Cam Johnson.
Write down our picks because I didn't do it.
Yeah,
who you taking, Jack?
Buddy
Hield.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, hit it.
Hey, buddy, hit it. Oh, I used to that joint down.
Little DC there. And yeah, Jack Wagner said McClung in the contest. Yeah, he in it again. He got to be. He got to defend his title. And I love that when you're a 2-time champion or you're a reigning champion and you still come out there and you still defend your title.
And
I think to be honest, what the Cavaliers did this week, I think next year the NBA should have a half and half. They can call it their version of Arnold Palmer if they want to. But you get 4 YouTubers and you get 4 NBA players for an 8-man dunk contest. I think that's going to be your way of making this a thing, because even if the YouTubers win, we don't care. We want to be entertained. You know what I'm saying? We want them at the end of this with their arms stretched out in the Coliseum asking you, are you not entertained? And I think that's the kick, and that's the way you kind of say that. There's a disappointment, but I'll wait till KG finishes up the weekend.
They had some YouTubers at a Wizards game I went to one time. There's like 3 of them, and they did just like you said. I think you just mentioned this. You saw a halftime show with a dunk contest. I was at a Wizards game. Was it MCI Verizon Center? I can't remember what it's called nowadays.
Cap One.
Yeah, they had it there, and it was an awesome show. And then I went on my phone and started looking at more of their dunks. So yeah, there's some awesome ass YouTube dunkers out there that could probably blow these NBA guys away.
It's like that. I think it's like that with the 3-point shootout too. Don't crucify me for this.
I don't see anybody working on their 3-point shot as much as pros do.
No, you got to go look at Lethal Shooter. He's a cat from the area. Lethal Shooter is that dude.
I wrote it down. I'm gonna check it out tonight.
All right. He has videos and he does clinics. But Lethal Shooter is like that. I would love to see him against some NBA talent. Now he was a college baller. He was if he had a badge, he would have the dead eye badge. For those that play 2K, he would have the dead eye badge. What's the other badge for 3-point shooting, Dario? Limitless range. That's another one. That means when you cross half court or shoot with limitless range, you don't even have to cross half court before your ball's all the way up.
KG, I was talking to Midnight Rider about this last night. Man, when I come in the gym, they called me one step over half court. I was in range.
Go get the tape. I want to see that. Go get the tape. Take them ankles up. Let's go.
Let me think.
Ain't no tapes to that.
There's some tape out there, but I don't know how to get a hold of that dude. There was this dude who used to come down there with his nephew to our local court, and we'd be running 3-on-3 down one side, and him and his nephew goof around. And then we get enough stragglers coming, we start running 5 on the hole. And dude used to have a tripod and take videos of his nephew balling. Man, he used to do it of us running whole court. Man, I died to see those videos. Man, I was probably 22. Game was banging at that time.
It's probably one of what's that? The real joints.
Damn.
Yeah. Nah, it was a big Betamax joint. It had the tape like this that slid in the side and you close it up. Cost a grip too back then. Probably cost a G.
Oh, for sure.
But if I got to choose the winner of this 3-point contest, I got to go with Dame Lillard.
Yeah, he was. I was right there torn between Buddy Hield, Dame, and even Brunson. Jack Wagner, you tripping. You know what's up.
One step and a brick, baby.
Oh, man, he was just down low waiting for me to kick it to him. We had plays. Me and Jack, we could look at each other, and we knew we had one play called float. He was on the left baseline, and I was on the left elbow, and I come to the hole, and I just flip it behind my back. How y'all do it? Hee. We called it wah-wah. And, I kick it to Jack over my shoulder, and they double on me, and I act like I'm going to the hole, and then Jack just came in and got a layup. And then we had another one where I was at the top of the key and Jack would kick it to me. Yeah, me and Jack played a lot of basketball together.
And Jack said, "Yeah, we did. We used to we used to ball. Loved it. Yeah, that's good, man.
We sit down there and wait.
My times where I miss it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think I loved baseball more, but I loved playing basketball the most. You know, it's the game that's got constant movement. You know, baseball cats can get tired and start looking for 40 clovers, building sandcastles. Football, there's still downtime, but basketball is a game that's constantly going. I think that's why I liked that game the best.
Sam checking in. He said, "This feels like deja vu. We've been here before." Jack doing the hee. The planets have a line Thursday night throwdown on primetime. I love it.
Dude, talking about that, the basketball thing, I never forget that. I played in adult league baseball with one of my boys, and they made me play the outfield. I played first all my life. Dog, you in the outfield, man, I was out there singing. I had like a playlist. I was just singing songs because the ball wouldn't come to me, but I'd catch 4 balls in the ball game, and 2 of them I'd miss. So, yeah, I was out there singing New Edition. I was out there even doing the little steps, you know what I'm saying? The little boom, and you do the half spin, and he bring it back. Oh, dog, I was out there killing it.
You tripping.
You know
killing it, huh?
I just thought about it. You was thinking, if it isn't love, that's what you was singing. You hit that.
Well, at least I got somebody back in my story. Yeah.
Oh, and every now and then you gotta wash it away with a little candy rain. You gotta give me that.
No, I got somebody backing my story up at least. Y'all just talking chip chat.
Jack says that open gym in Greenbelt every Friday night. Ball out and go party. Ride out in the outfield singing doo-wop. Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do to get it through.
Hey man, you gotta stay awake.
Jack's talking about Greenbelt Middle School up there on Greenbelt Road, Kenilworth Avenue corner, right there by Beltway Plaza. Lenny Bias went to Greenbelt Junior High. We knew a janitor. We used to ball every Friday night for like 8 years, man. And Friday night, you get off work, cash your check, go home, get your gear, go to the gym. Then after it's over, we get outside, crack the cooler open, start drinking some beers, talking about the party we're getting ready to go to or what chicks we getting ready to holler at. It was a great Friday just to go to an open gym. Then, you're with your neighborhood boys. It was fun, man. I don't know if y'all ever had a gym like that, but it was just like our own personal gym.
I never had that experience, but I had like 2 years where I was in Sport and Health in Alexandria.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a fun story. So we walk in one day and it's like this company. They're having it's me and this other dude. The other dude's like 6'5". And let's just say we stand out amongst the group because our skin tone is a little different. So there's a bunch of people playing like this office is playing basketball, and they're like, oh, so they add me and the other guy in, and then like it becomes a thing where every possession it's basically like me and him playing one-on-one. And if you go and miss a shot, the looks of disgust that these people had on their face when you missed the shot, it's like, no, everybody missed the jumper. Damn. They look at you like, like it's like in the back of their mind, they like, he letting his race down. But you know,
letting his race down. That is.
Oh man, but yeah, that was a crazy stretch.
Well, rounding out the All-Star weekend, you got Shaq's OGs versus Kenny's Young Stars versus Chuck's Global Stars, and then you have Candace's Rising Stars. I don't have her. I think she has the young players. I don't have her roster. They don't have that loaded up. But now for Shaq, he has LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie starting with Steph, Tatum, and Lillard and Brown coming off the bench.
Ho.
Damn.
Old school. I know. We said we aren't going to wax poetically about the old school, but old school rules is Steph the host. Steph should start.
He should, but I mean the way they got this set up, I don't know if he's starting or I don't know if he's starting to coming off the bench. It looked like he's coming off the bench, but don't quote me on that. Don't hold me to that.
No, you got it. I'm just us.
For Kenny, and wait, the teams ain't even. They're not even even. Because Shaq got 9 players. Chuck got 9. And Kenny got 8. Kenny got Anthony Edwards, Jaren Jackson Jr., Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Williams, Evan Mobley, and Tyler Hero. Okay. Chuck has Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, Trae Young. I thought Trae Young got snubbed for the All-Star team.
He came in as an injury replacement.
Okay. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Victor Wembanyama, Alperen Sengun, and Donovan Mitchell.
Nice.
Sengun, he gonna give Jokic a run for his money for that center spot. But the reason Candace Parker's team isn't loaded up is because they take the winner of whatever the Rising Star game is on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's whatever the top 2 teams are, or whatever. They form the 4th team, so that's why you don't have an actual roster loaded up for that spot.
Got you. Excuse me. Couple of comments real quick. Sam says, sounds like Jack was doing GTL gym tan laundry way before Jersey Shore. You guys tell the best stories.
It was the best, man. It was the best. And like I said, it was Friday, man. Paycheck was in your pocket. You had a cooler full of beer. It was the best. It was the best thing that we ran into, man. Because we used to go to North Gym over on Maryland campus. We used to go to St. Jerome's on Sunday mornings. That sucked because you had to set an alarm clock and you was hungover from this party on Saturday. But I loved running at St. Jerome so much. I set an alarm to get there at 8 o'clock when it opened. And it felt bad, though. You go in there at 8 o'clock to go ball, and you see all these people in their church clothes go to church, and you just felt bad, like they was looking at you wrong.
I bet that huddle smelled real interesting.
Oh, yeah, they could smell me out there sometime. It was a Virginia state trooper, a sheriff or something, and the police force would pay for their gym membership or whatever if they had a gym membership. So he was like, well, look, I like balling, and can I pay the church? And we used the gym. So the Virginia police officer And he was older. He was older. He was probably in his 60s, and he was a Kentucky fan. I remember his name was Roger, and he would just pay his gym membership money that the police force gave him to the church, and it was way more than was necessary. So that's why they were so nice to us over there at St. Jerome's. And I ran men's league over there too.
Maddie says, Finns score first. Sadly, Haley Buck in playoff form and goal for US.
That's not a good thing.
Not a good thing at all. Sam said, I think Barkley got a better team. If you had to pick without knowing who Candace Parker's going to have with her, what you guys got?
Whatever team Ant Edwards is on, and if it's Ant Edwards and Shy, I'm definitely taking that team.
It might be, because I'm looking at Shaq's team, and Shaq's team looks like the old heads. And
I'm not worried about them.
I'm going with them.
Anthony Edwards is on Kenny's team, and SGA is on Chuck's team.
Well, I gotta ride with my dog. I'm going with SGA. So we going with Chuck's team.
And I'm going with Shaq's team.
And I'm going with Shaq's team as well. So Shaq is JC and KG, and Midnight Rider is, you said Kenny, right? Or no, you said Chuck.
Chuck,
baby, don't give up. Chuck, baby, don't give up.
All right. Now, that's the All-Star weekend. Looking at the conference standings, your number one teams right now in the East is the Cavaliers. In the West, it's the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of games left. I mean, not really a whole lot. I mean, they used to play 41 games, 42, 43 by the halfway point. Now we up to about 54. So things are a lot different now. You play a lot more games in the first half of the season, which I think is good. Get most of that workload out the way so you can kind of don't have as many back-to-backs in the second half.
Well, they both got very good records. I mean, extraordinary records for this time of year. I think one of them's 10 loss, one of them's 9 loss. That's what Boston was doing last year at this time. So a surprise for me a little bit is Memphis right there behind them, behind OKC. Memphis is a surprise for me. Houston is not a surprise for me. They got a nice squad.
Now, here are your top teams, your top 10 teams in the East. You have the Cavaliers 1, Celtics 2, Knicks 3, Pacers 4, Bucks 5, Pistons 6, Magic 7. Those are 2 young up-and-coming teams that most people didn't think that they would be in this position this early, but they are. They fought and struggled down at the bottom. Now they in the middle of the pack, which is good. Heat at 8, Hawks at 9, Bulls at 10. In the Western Conference, you got the Thunder at 1. Jack mentioned the Grizzlies right behind them at 2. The Nuggets at 3. Rockets at 4. Lakers at 5. And the Lakers keep floating back between that 4 and the 5. Clippers at 6. Timberwolves at 7. Mavericks at 8. Kings at 9. Warriors at 10. So, gentlemen, if you had to pick your finals matchup right now, give it to me. Who's your finals matchup? And I'm writing this down to see who gets it right. 2025 NBA finals matchup.
You know where I'm going. I'm going Denver Nuggets. We'll be back in the championship game. Man, your boy Jamal Murray had a game last night, dude. My man, Jamal Murray's jumper is so sweet. And when he's on, he can score all night. He could be a number one for any squad in this league and probably be a high 25-plus point scorer. He had 55 points last night on 7 for 15 from 3 in a 132-121 victory over Portland last night. And then Jokic got another triple-double last night. So I pick Denver versus Boston going for the repeat. What you got, Midnight Rider?
Y'all gonna make me do this. I don't want to do this.
Come on, Chucky.
We're gonna take it way back.
Way back.
We're gonna go. We're gonna have the Lakers versus the Celtics, and the Lakers will win the series in 6.
Write that down, KG.
Lakers in 6. Because we're gonna figure out this Luka thing. I think LeBron is going to go back to Miami and understand that you gotta do certain things to win. And I think he's going to assert himself differently on the defensive end, mainly on the boards to help this team out. And I think that's how we get to 18.
Okay.
Right.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go that way. But I'm going to change it up. I'm going to say Lakers versus Cavaliers.
Ooh.
Lakers in 5.
Ooh.
I just don't think the Cavs are going wire to wire like this, man. I'm expecting a drop off in the second half of the season out of Cleveland, man. I just don't think they're that good of a team.
You've been expecting a drop off from them. Since the beginning of the season when they started off. What did they win? The first 20 games, 19, 20 games?
Is it that many? Okay,
They
I remember.
They were like 10-2, 12-2, or something like that.
I remember week 2. I was like, woo. But I just don't, like I say, the injury bug ain't hit them too much yet. I don't think they're the best team in the East.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest problem is Boston is waiting. Boston is one of those teams that after you win one, sometimes you need the playoffs to actually play your best ball. So you just do enough to get to the playoffs. And then since you have the experience, you don't care who you play. You're going to roll through anybody, any and everybody. So it's not a big deal on you trying to find matchups because in your mind, you're Boston. Like we've been here, we've done that. We got Porzingis, you got Brown, you got a Tatum. I mean, what you want to do?
If we healthy, ain't nobody touching us.
You saying that Boston's not championship hungover, but they just I'm not gonna say don't respect the grind.
No, it's not. They're bored.
They're bored. They ain't gonna start balling for another couple weeks.
Because think about what's their thing.
What's my motivation?
Like it don't matter that. I mean, it's just like Kansas City this year. Like all year long, Kansas City walked around and it's just like, yeah, that's nice. Is it the playoffs yet? You know what I'm saying? Does this count? And it's like, nah, not yet. They're like, oh, okay. And they sleep through a ball game, win a 1 score ball game. They did it 15 times in a row. And it's like when you take that long trip and the kids in the back seat, they keep asking, are we there yet? That's what Boston's doing. They're like, are we there yet? Nah, it's just the All-Star break. Oh, okay. And after this weekend, they're like, are we there yet? Nah. We still got like another 25 ball games to play. Oh, okay.
Jack Wagner said OKC versus Boston. Sam Moss said Ryder's background graphic doing a strange shape.
Because every now and then it gives me, I got you.
It's that bubble head he got.
Matty Ice said Brady Kachuk ties it up.
Yep.
That's years of watching hockey when you know that's Kachuk, not to Kachuk.
Exactly. But you know, both of the Kachuk boys are on that team.
Really?
Yeah. Both sons are playing. So we might get a Kachuk lineup.
Dad is
isn't it Keith?
Keith Kachuk. That's what I was gonna think. Yeah. Matty Ice, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Jack Wagner says Shea is hot. I like the Lakers next year. Gotta finish the year building. Let's go LA. Speaking of building, the Wiz kids, they've been playing some decent ball since the trade. They won 3 games. They're 9-45. Like that's their 15th. but they are playing differently. Like they're losing games. They're in these games. They're losing. I don't know if you gentlemen saw the sequence. What was it? Was it night before last? It was a sequence where they got a rebound. They went down. Jordan Poole goes Harlem Globetrotter and goes behind his back, splashes a long three. Spurs come back down. Wemby goes to the basket, and Sarr blocked. Now, was it Sarr? Sarr blocked him at the basket. They start to break again and go down. They work the ball around. Bob Carrington in the corner, splash three. And I was like, where was this? Where was this? Like the way y'all are playing team basketball, everybody, but when they started to break, they got the first break. Nobody was lagging. Everybody was running the floor. It's like, okay, you guys done bought in. Nobody was lollygagging. No, nothing. When they got back on defense, everybody was there. Then when they started to break again, everybody was running. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm going for mine. It was like, no, who has the best shot? Because I want to say it was Koulibaly had a baseline. He could have probably hit a reverse layup and got two. But as he was coming down, he kicks it to Bub Carrington in the corner because he's wide open. And they shoot the three and knock it down. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. You may not win the game, but you're building a foundation. Foundation. What you gentlemen got to say?
I'll let the gentleman go first.
No, I agree with you. And getting rid of Kuz, man, damn good move because he was just down with this team. I noticed Poole in the few games I've watched earlier in the season. He's working with the youngsters. He's doing a little bit of on-court coaching with them guys. I didn't see Kuz ever do that. I see Poole, grabbing a young guy, pointing, you need to be here and pick and roll and this and that. So I just think getting rid of Kuzma made this team better too. They still needed a lot of work. I mean, winning a couple games is good, but I don't know. I'm gonna use the word I want to say. They still suck.
And that's a good thing. That's a great thing.
Yes, so I can get that first round pick.
But the kicker for me, and I've been saying this all along, is just this team, when the young guys get to play, they are a better team. And I think the one person that helps them out, well, actually, it's two people that helps them out more than we think or more than you know. First is the Brogdon, because I think Brogdon keeps them organized. Because, again, we're talking about 5 guys, and none of them can buy a beer at the bar at the local thing. And some of them have 2 years experience. Some of them have 1 year experience. So these guys are all young. They're learning as they go along. But between Brogdon and the guy that's going to be the sleeper is going to be Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is going to start teaching some of these guys some of the little things in terms of positioning their body, how to get themselves open without pushing off, using your body to get you some space. You're going to see a lot of that stuff happening in the second half. I don't know what Middleton can bring. I don't know if Middleton really needs to play. I literally tell him, collect your paycheck. Don't worry about it. The coach DMPs, get your body healthy, and we'll play you the last 10 games down the stretch. So you can show off a healthy Chris Middleton, and maybe you can make yourself some money that way. But that's exactly how I would do this.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
Yeah, I just think they are in a good space, and I think they have the right guys that will do exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, damn. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Damn. Yeah, I've been seeing that. What's her name? Ogamike or something like that?
Woo!
What's her name? Ogamundu or Ogamike?
Something like that, yeah.
You got a sister in the league?
I think they were twins that played at Stanford.
Yeah, she thick.
Couple of comments. We need a senior citizen NBA league. Bring everyone out of retired and start with Jordan. # random thought. Sam, I like that.
Sam,
But those guys ain't gonna do it no more. Matty
Sam,
Ice said they're currently not on the line together. Talking about the Kachuk brothers.
let me holler at Sam. Sam, the jumper's still there. My jumper's still wet, but that ball's square. I can't dribble with a crap no more.
Well, I mean, there's always the driveway, Jack.
I can't. Oh man, I used to dribble to the bus stop every day, up left-handed, back right-handed. I hide my basketball in the bushes every day. That's what's up.
Jumping on this, Midnight Rider, mock draft rules. We're gonna save that for Sunday, or you want to run through that tonight?
Sunday.
Okay,
we had an hour, so let's try to get out before 1:20.
Oh, we had an hour already. Wow.
Yeah. We talked. When I tell you we don't need a lot to put together content. Come on now, we got the talent. We got the on-air talent to knock out consistent shows. That's why we're consistently consistent. Now, question of the night: switching gears, bringing it home to DC, but switching sports. Everybody keeps talking about Myles Garrett to DC. If you had to gauge your interest, not the team interest, your interest as a fan of the Washington Commanders, scale of, 1 to 10, 1 being no, 10 being hell yeah, where would you be at in that? Because I didn't talk to you gentlemen about that, and I wanted to hear what you had to say.
I would be, I like Myles Garrett, dude. I've enjoyed watching him these past few seasons. He's an animal. He's hard to block, hard to contain. Would he open up some stuff for our line? Yeah, but we had to get rid of some of these cats because what? He played the same position that Payne and
No, he's the end.
He plays end. He doesn't play inside.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so would he be considered an edge?
Yeah, he'd be an edge. Now you could line them up.
We don't have nothing there.
Cleveland lines them up a little bit of everywhere, almost kind of like a Micah Parsons.
Lawrence Taylor.
If you've seen some of the film, there's film out there where like before the snap, Garrett will start on one side, and it'll be like 2 tight ends on his side, and then he'll go on the other side, and then they'll motion the tight ends to whatever side he's on, and he'll do this for a couple of minutes back and forth. So yeah, he's got much respect.
Yeah, I like that when the rushers can, they switch up because the matchup on that side don't look good. You don't see Washington doing too much of that. Usually, though, when you got a dominant guy down there, like I mentioned a minute ago, Lawrence Taylor, he used to move around a lot in his setup on defense. So I think when you got a guy that's that damn dominant, you gotta move him around. So me 1 to 10 on this. I was excited, and I've seen all the chit chat everybody's putting into Washington.
Uh-oh.
No,
yes.
Myles Garrett, I give it an 8. I give it an 8, man. I'd love to have Myles Garrett.
What are you on today, man? Did you not drink coffee this morning or something?
No coffee, little hoo-ha,
Good God Almighty! I've never agreed with your ass this much in the whole show. Like, this is ridiculous, man.
Well,
like,
what can I say? What can I say, partner?
No, I think tomorrow is gonna be the rapture or something. Like, because I don't know what this is. Yeah, I'm at an 8, and the reason I'm only at an 8 is because the only reason I don't say hell yeah is because I think when other teams get in the mix, it's going to be too rich for our blood, and I think at that point you're going to get out because your main thought process is building through the draft, and I think if it gets too high, that's one thing. The other thing, and I got to give a shout out to Chris Russell who brought this up today, was the problem that Cleveland has is Cleveland has the second worst cap number in the league, and Myles Garrett is a $36 million cap hit if he's traded before June 1st. So that creates another layer to this problem or layer to this. But if I'm Cleveland, I just try to do whatever and just start all over again.
Yeah, they got a hot mess over there.
Because if I'm Cleveland, whoever I trade him to, whatever pick I get back from him, and this is going to be a very Midnight Rider thing. So if you listen to the show, you kind of know where I'm going to go with some of this. But I think if I'm Cleveland at 2, I take the kid Abdul Carter from Penn State to replace Myles Garrett. That way I'm losing the pass rush, but I'm getting me another kid that can be possibly generational.
That boy Penn State, nice.
And then whatever pick I get, somebody else's first round pick, I take Quinn Ewers as my quarterback because I know Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward are going to be gone 1 and 2. I think Ewers being healthy is a better quarterback than anybody else that's left in this draft. Because he should be healed from that oblique that he had last season. And I think that's part of the reason why Texas offense wasn't as crisp as it was early on, was because of that oblique injury. So that's what I see. I see Cleveland going to get Carter, Ewers, and going from there. But they got to get them a wide receiver. Jesus. I mean, I know people like Jerry Jeudy. I'm just not a Jeudy guy. I was when he got drafted, but he burnt me too many times, and I had to buy too many Jack Daniels for the person I used to had a bet with about Jeudy and CD Lamb.
I'm on the other end of the spectrum, gentlemen. I know we've been in agreement tonight, a lot of agreements tonight, but I'm at like a 2 because it's all about the price tag for me. And I'm not saying that
2
while I'm sitting here, I can pull up his numbers. I'm not saying that he's not a talent.
You're worried about the cost.
You said don't worry about the cost.
No, I said you are.
You're worried.
Yeah, I'm worried. Yes, I'm worried about the cost because this is where that PTSD comes in. We've gotten traded for talents. And then it always seems like when they come here, that dark cloud that started to part over DC, and we can start seeing sun rays coming through these clouds now. But it was black for a long time. We couldn't see no sun rays. If you remember that episode of Married with Children, when they went over to England and they had to kill the last Bundy males in Lower Uncton because they were under darkness because of a curse. That's what it felt like being under Daniel Snyder. It felt like we were living in Lower Uncton.
Wow.
Shout out to Married with Children.
Good God Almighty.
No, I remember that episode because they was messing with the guards and everything. Remember when Bundy was trying to get the guards to flinch and stuff?
Yep.
It was hilarious.
Now, going into this season, this is his 31. He'll be 31. His option.
I thought he was 29.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that old.
No, he's 20. I'm sorry. This will be the 2025 season. I am so sorry. I'm thinking my number's off. This will be his age 30 season. His base salary is $1.2 million. His
I double check that, KG. I think
hold on.
I think he's 29 all of next season and turns 30 at the end of the season or something like that.
Okay, this is what Sport Track says. That's what I'm going off of. And his option is $18 million. His cap hit is $19 million, $19.7 million. And of course, like you said, dead cap would be $36 million. We just paid Payne. We just paid Allen. He comes here. One of those guys got to go. We already said that at the end of the season, State of the Union, if you want to call it that. We already said that. But one of those guys got to go if he comes here, but then we need production. He comes here. I need stats. I don't need the stuff you can't see. He does the stuff that you can't see. You know, he picks up the double teams and other guys get free. I don't need that right about now. I need stats. He had 14 sacks last season. 2023, he had 14 sacks. He had 16 sacks in 22. 21, he had 16. The dude's had double-digit sacks every season of his career except for the first year. If he comes here and he doesn't give me 12 to 17 sacks, it's a wasted contract, in my opinion.
Dude, I think you on the wrong bus, because the good thing for this year is you don't. Where I think the reason I'm an 8 out of 10 is because this draft class is heavy on D tackles and D ends, and you can get you some guys at 29, and I would even be a bigger fan of taking 29, letting somebody move into the first round so they can get their quarterback late, whether it's Jackson Dart, whether it's Quinn Ewers, one of those kind of guys at the end of the first, to build to stabilize their franchise, like a team like Oakland. I mean, not Oakland, Las Vegas. I think they're going to be a team that's going to draft a quarterback in the late first round by coming back into the first round. I just think when this draft plays out, there's going to be some teams that's going to go up and get quarterbacks later on, and I think Myles Garrett is perfect. But I'm not selling the farm for Myles Garrett, and I'm not worried about his production because he's been consistent all around. He's a physical freak. They don't make people like that to walk the earth. Like, he was made in a lab somewhere. This dude can dunk. He can do whatever athletic thing you want him to do.
NFL football teams.
Sorry.
Alexa talking to him.
I'm over here trying to get some info. That's all.
Well, at least it didn't
While
say
listening to Midnight Rider.
Your today's selections on Pornhub are.
Well, a couple of comments. Jack Wagner said any roster needs a Myles Garrett. I think it doesn't matter where he goes. He's going to fit in. He's going to make the team
I just
better.
question if they can do it. I question if they can do it.
I'm not saying that if he came here, he wouldn't make the team better. He wouldn't be a great addition. I'm not saying none of that. And then the dude off the court, the things that he does in the community. See, I'm a little different. I like guys that are this. I used to say this to Keefe from the block when we used to work together. Because like he was like, oh, I want Terrell Pryor. Like, Terrell Pryor is not going to work out here. He's a better quarterback than he is a receiver. It's not going to work out. Just the way that it happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not saying much. He wanted what's the old boy Kenny Britt. I remember he wanted Kenny Britt, and I was like, we don't need no knuckleheads in DC. So that's the worst thing you can do is come to DC and already be a knucklehead. Then you're never going to make the field. And then right after he said he wanted Kenny Britt wound up getting arrested and released in Tennessee. Myles Garrett is not in that knucklehead frame. Mm-hmm. He's not a knucklehead. He's all about charity work and making appearances. And the dude is just absolute beast off the field.
Well, you know,
and I agree with Midnight Rider. I mean, he looks like you know what he looks like? He looked like a buffed up Killmonger. That's what he looks like. And you would love to have him. It's just that I want him to be him. And even though with this culture change, I think that he would fit in very, very well here and would do well. It's just that I'm protective of the money. I'm just protective of the money. That's all. I'm very protective of the money.
Yeah.
The money. I like. What year was that? The year that we got hit with the cap thing. When I was so geeked up going into free agency that year because I was like, we got money, and that money got taken. That hurt. It's just going into this off season and having, huh? That was a result of the strike year.
Okay, all right.
Because cool. They said we went against the gentleman's agreement and gave Hainsworth that contract.
But there's no collusion.
But, yeah. But I was like, it was nothing in writing. It was a handshake agreement. It was a gentleman's agreement. And I didn't think that Dallas should have been fine. I didn't think Washington should have been fine. But I'm not sold on it right now. Maybe my stance will change in the next week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but I'm not sold on it right now. Matty Ice said it's going to cost you at least 2 ones and 2 to 4 more picks to get them. Go ahead, Jack.
You know, you were talking about Garrett's sack numbers, which have been amazing. you look at Washington, their sack leader was Fowler. Dante Fowler had 10.5. And right behind him was Louvu with 8. And then Armstrong had 5. The Washington had total 43 sacks last year, this past season. Nobody else had more than 2 on the squad. And in the NFL, the leading sack teams I was surprised, Denver. 68 sacks Denver had. And you're looking here, Washington had 43. That's quite a ways off. And then number 2 was Baltimore with 54. And number 3 was Dallas with 52. Washington does need a dominant pass rusher because you look at it, it's Fowler and Louvu, both of them are linebackers. You know, it's not like they're even down in the trenches. So I don't know. I give it a good percentage of happening. I'm gonna put it at 70%. I think it's gonna happen, man. I feel it. So that was just me recapping some things I heard you guys mention about Myles Garrett and his numbers. I like him. So
no, I think it's just one of those things where as we go along, it's gonna be I think it's gonna come down to what they want and are they willing to give it up? Because I mean, these guys talk a whole lot about building through the draft. And sometimes you can't take that big swing because you want to build through the draft. I think the wide receiver free agent market sucks. Personally, I don't want Godwin because he's coming off of a terrible knee injury. I don't want T. Higgins.
Why not?
Because
I think T gonna end up here too.
I don't think because it costs too much, and you still got to pay Terry.
He's either gonna stay there. Is what I really think. Cincinnati's going to pay him because Joe and Chase are talking about restructuring. So I think Cincinnati's going to keep him.
I think they're going to franchise tag him.
Okay, so that's a good way. Yeah.
And then
do you really think that's worth it? I mean, not to collude or taint the waters or anything. But T. Higgins, how many games did he miss this year? He missed quite a few. Him and Jamal Chase missed quite a few.
5, 6.
He was probably questionable for 5 or 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
He do 12 games this year. If I'm going off of just the top of my head.
Yeah, but Midnight Rider, you said earlier about how you always say this about certain teams, like Detroit's one of them. How you get your guys. Your kind of guys that are going to come into your word. And that is really what Washington has done this past year and a half. In the draft, they did it. That's a good example. What we get, 7 picks this year, I think?
They had 7 picks, and
4 of them were team captains, 3 or 4.
3 of them were the 3 of their draft picks had the Commanders label by their name. Sam Steele, Newton, and Jaden Daniels. So 3 of their first 4 picks were guys that they thought would be Commanders. Yes. And I think if you watch if you guys go back on YouTube, they got a show called Commander's Log, season 3. I think it's episode 2. No, episode 3 is the draft, I think. And they sit down with all the guys, but you can also see the background, and you can see Lance Newmark, Josh Harris, and some of the coaches come in, and they're talking about these guys, and there's like, oh, he's a commander, and they got the commander seal. So I think that's what's going to happen this year in this year's draft is you're going to see them talk about guys having the commander seal, and that's how they're going to pick these guys.
Definitely. You look at it. They brought leaders in, you know what I mean? And that whole team captain thing I mentioned, Johnny Newton, he was a team captain in Illinois, and shit, he was all what are they, SEC? I mean, they're bringing in
Big Ten,
level-headed, good people. You know what I mean? And that's what I like. And if you look at the New England Patriots in their day, you look at Kansas City, when they are on that field, they're not out there celebrating a first down or arguing with a ref, they get that ball and they get back in the huddle or get back in the short set and go. I seen for the past 10 years, I don't know how many wide receivers Washington had celebrating a goddamn first down. Used to tick me off. You're 3-12 and you celebrating first downs. So that's the difference now. We're not getting guys like that anymore in this program. And I think they learned some things. It's going to really, man, I'm excited for next year. Come on. I want next football season already.
And I think the other. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm getting to a couple of these comments. Matty I said one to one after one. Sam Moss said no, ma'am. That was the Married with Children reference. If you didn't get that, Google Christina Applegate looking like Kathy Bates. Hey man, she's sick. She got MS, so she's sick. That's why she gained the weight like that.
I still get down with Christina Applegate.
Nah, she been really sick between the MS and I think she had a cancer scare or something else like that.
Yeah,
too.
I think she had breast cancer.
She was just in some movie about 4 years ago, though.
She was in a movie and then she was on this show.
I didn't know that.
Like Life After Death or something like that. It was a Netflix show where, the girl that befriended her, they were in like this grieving class or grieving group, and she got befriended by a girl, and the person that befriended her was actually the person that hit her husband and killed him. And she had to try to hide that secret as they became the best of friends. I don't know how the show ended, but yeah. Late nights, Netflix, you watch some random stuff, bro.
Agreed. Speaking of which, I need to get in with matter of fact, I might do that tonight. I haven't gotten around to watching the Death of Ed McNair on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix anymore because I kind of cut it out, and then of course Raw goes on Netflix, and I'm just like, whatever.
But I haven't got around to watching it because I just can't. Certain things I can't bring myself to watch.
No, I'm with you on that one.
And being a big Steve McNair fan, it's one of those when you got the news, you knew where you were at. And I was riding down. I had just crossed over South Capitol and turned on Bates Street and was going to pick Dario up. It was July 4th. I remember it like it was yesterday. Mom's was driving. I'm talking to her, and then that came across the radio, and I was just like, what? But yeah. I digress. Jack Wagner said the Cowboys need Debo and any defensive help they can get. I agree with Jack Wagner, but they talking about trading Micah Parsons. So let me ask you this, and then we got to get out of here.
Woo!
If you got to choose quickly, if you got to choose to trade for Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett, who you going for?
I'll go quick on that. I'll go first, Midnight Rider. Micah Parsons. How old is Parsons?
23, 24.
Yeah, he's not even out of his first contract.
That's a reason. That's a little bit of reason that I would take this.
If we're just doing this over want, then you take the younger guy. If we're doing this over of all right, what are the logistics behind this? There's no way Dallas will do business with Washington in division for a generational talent like this. So you have to end up with Myles Garrett. That's how I'll answer that question.
But I would take the boy in Dallas.
I take Parsons in a heartbeat
over Garrett if that was what it was. But you're right. I don't see
literally, there would be a guy in a Commander's suit and tie at the Cowboys facility picking up Parsons before Jerry hung up the phone. He would be like, "Oh, okay, good, we got a deal," and boom, and then be like, "It'll be a phone call. What's up?
Hell yeah!
Yeah, the Commander's got somebody downstairs waiting for Micah. Huh? Okay.
Hell yeah!
You know what I'm saying?
We're getting somebody at that defensive line area. We're getting somebody. I promise you that.
I'm gonna say this to the guys. Don't be scared of a 1-year rental on a guy like a Khalil Mack because he's a free agent, and then you draft a kid. There's a kid, Michael Green out of Marshall, who might be there. There's a kid named Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M. Texas A&M is going to have, if there's one school that's going to show out, and you might hear played at Texas A&M and transferred or whatever, this is the 4th or 5th year after Texas A&M had the number 1 class, recruiting class in the country. They just didn't have a quarterback for 2 years, and some of those guys left and went somewhere else. So, what I would say is, when you're watching the combine, don't be surprised if you hear a lot of Texas A&M stuff, and a lot of these guys gonna be early on. These guys were talented. Their problem was they just couldn't have a QB. And I'll say it that way and end it with that.
Well, I'm gonna say this: Michael Parsons 25. If I had to choose between him and Garrett, with this front office that I think that we have, I think they probably could, if they wanted to, they could pull both off. And don't get me wrong, they pull either one of these moves off, I wouldn't be mad at all. Right. Me personally, I'm just scared because I still have the PTSD from the previous regime, and I'm trying to wash it away. I've bought in and everything, but also Dan Quinn has a relationship. If you remember Hard Knocks a couple years ago with Dallas and Michael Parsons' rookie year, and I think they were playing, I want to say it was a Hall of Fame game, and I think he had played 11, 12 snaps, and he called, Dan Quinn called down to the sideline, was like, all right, you're done. He was like, I'm done? And just the sound of his voice, he sounded like a little kid being told that he got to come in the house and get ready for dinner. And he was like, nah, let me play a couple more sides. Like, nope, can't do it. You're done. But he was trying to negotiate his way back on the field. This is a preseason game. And he was like, I'm just getting warmed up. Come on, just let me go a little bit longer. Let me at least play the rest of the half. He was like, no, we got to protect you. For real? And he kind of, did he pout? Yes. But this is when you want to see a player pout, because he pouted because he wanted to play. And I've been a Micah Parsons fan since then. Like, I'm like, yeah, this, when they talk about MPP, the Micah Parsons problem, I love it. Even though he's a Cowboy, I love it. And the dude is just, he's an absolute beast, man. He is a beast. See, look at that. Look at the praise. Look at the praise. Thank you.
Out of Bounds. That's the first comment I've seen from Out of Bounds. Welcome.
It's because the Out of Bounds is only on the WrestleManiacs after KG loses the belt and wants to talk and take KG's side. Gotcha. So there's questions that this is a KG
secret account.
Yeah.
Commenting on his own shit. Look at that bum.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't know if people do that.
Why would somebody do with him?
Like, why would you comment on a podcast while you're doing the podcast? I don't know people that do that.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I'm not that type of person. All right, fellas, let's wrap this thing up. I know. The overwhelming love. The flowers that have been given tonight. Appreciate that. Let's wrap this thing up. That's say what you're eating. Now wrap this up.
Yeah, I was like, what are we doing here? I know it's not Sunday.
No, it's not. It's time to wrap this up, B. Before we get out of here, fellas, let me say this to everybody listening. If you have not checked out last night's episode of In the Passenger Seat, please go and check that out. It's available on all platforms video-wise. Check that out. Get it in. Run them views up. Because Jack and the Midnight Rider with Lou Rome did a phenomenal job last night. So let that be said. You guys did a phenomenal job. Go ahead, Jack.
And I want to thank all the viewers that are following this new show with Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Couple about 3-4 weeks ago, I experienced my first 1,000-view show, and got on my phone this afternoon to check out last night's show with Lou Rome, and we are well on our way to 1,000 views. We had over 950 views in 22 hours. So, man, we blowing up. We everywhere, baby. Thank you for the support.
And
And
I'll
as
piggyback
always,
on.
go ahead.
I'll
Midnight Rider.
piggyback real quick. First and foremost, if you guys are looking for a cleaning service made to work, is Louis Rome's project. You can check them out. Secondly, we always want to thank the guests. Louis was one of the best shows, one of the best conversations. I think if you haven't seen In the Passenger Seat yet, Jack does a great thing in his intro. He talks about it being a journey through somebody's sports life, but also through their life. And I think yesterday we did a nice talk through Louis' life for a portion of this. And I don't know how many sports shows you get that from, but I mean, you get it from us. So I hope you enjoy it because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring you the element of sports and A, why people love it, but also B, like the things in life that either turn us off. Like the week before, we had a young guy, Curtis, who, he said he didn't play high school baseball because he couldn't play for his dad and he regretted that mistake. Just we get a lot of life things out of these things, and that's what we're searching for. Like we want to know the people, we want to know the soul. We can always talk sports. We do it for 2 hours at a time to BJ's dismay, but we get this one show on Wednesday where we actually connect with people and hopefully we build in relationships.
That was excellent, Midnight Rider. You hit that spot on, nail on the head. That's it. We still, people think it's a sports show. I mean, we start out, we talk about their youth and their favorite sports memory, and that just gets me in the Midnight Rider rolling, gets our brain thinking. And then, like I say, we've had some that we've gotten into emotional problems in college, homesick. Some folks have had ailments that might have derailed some of their sports things. It is so fun getting to know these people and sharing thoughts that, people go through every day. So over there with Lou Rome and Made to Work cleaning services. They do residential, commercial. Come on now. Call Lou up and get a little cleaning lady over there to help your wife out with some chores. The number is 301-943-1935. And that is Lou. He will be answering the phone, guys. No crank calls.
No,
Lou's gonna get blown up by just his friends right now.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I don't have any rebuttal because that right there is how we end the show. Next up will be the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs on Saturday. Depending on what happens with the gridiron, we'll figure that out logistically in the next 2 days. But that I don't think not this week. Next week, Midnight Rider.
Well, is the championship game tonight?
No, that's we're in the playoffs right now. Matter of fact, update for those that would care. Alabama is up 35-10 in the quarterfinals of the playoffs against Georgia.
Okay.
And we have a quarterfinal game where it's Oregon versus Maryland for the second time in the next couple of weeks. And the last couple of weeks, so. But
on that game, hold up. You say Oregon -1.5. So give me Maryland and give me the over.
Ooh. Okay.
When's that on?
I think it's on 11 o'clock tonight, right?
Okay.
Yep.
I'll check that out. See Mr. Clean dominate.
And if you want inside analysis, because I host the greatest fictitious college football show called The Gridiron, here's my thought process. There's one person that always gives Jimmy problems, and it's B. And they always play a close game, but B always seems to eke it out. So that's why I'm taking Maryland. And the 1.5, I don't think that's going to be a problem because on my side, that'd be Maryland plus 1.5. So I'm not worried about that. And then on the other side of it, the over, both offenses are top tier offenses. So that's the other reason why I take the over on this. So there you go. A little insider information from the Midnight Rider, giving you a glimpse of what we give you on the Gridiron. Again, the greatest fictitious college football show in the world, Craig. In the world.
In the world, Craig.
And with that being said, that's the Gentleman Jack. That's the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. Baby, we did overtime. We got to cut this overtime out because this line ain't working no more. But we are out of here.